Hello, dear future doctors. Welcome to MemoNeet. I am Jay Thakkar and I am working as a biology content creator at MemoNeet. So, you are all done with your NEET 24 exam, right? How was it? Was it really good? Or even if it was not that good, no need to get disheartened because you also always have got another chance. Okay, you can give it next year and excel it and get your government seat. Okay. Now today we are going to discuss the zoology section which was asked in the NEET 24 paper. So let us start. So starting with the question 151. Okay. So this is a match the following question and we have to match list 1 with list 2. So in list 1 there are diseases given and in list 2 there are the causative organisms. Now see, here the first disease is typhoid. Now, as we know, typhoid is a bacterial disease and it is caused by Salmonella typhi. So, A goes with 4. Then B is leishmaniasis. So, leishmaniasis is caused by a protozoa. C is a ringworm and ringworm is a fungal disease, right? So, C goes with 1 and D is filariasis which is caused by a nematode. So, here the answer will be option 4. Okay. Moving on to the next question, that is question number 152. So it is also a match the following question and it is about the contraceptive methods. Okay, so first is the non-medicated IUD. So as you know, the non-medicated IUD is the Lippes loop. Okay, then B is the copper releasing IUD. An example of copper releasing IUD is multi-load 375. C is the hormone releasing IUD and an example of hormone releasing IUD is LNG20 and D is implants. So different implants, they are responsible for the release of progestogens. So here the answer will be option 2. Moving on to the next question, that is question number 153. So it is a statement based question and there are two statements given and we have to identify which one of them is correct. The first statement is the presence or absence of hymen, okay, is not a reliable indicator. Okay, read the word not here. Not a reliable indicator of virginity. So this statement is absolutely correct, okay, because see, hymen can be broken due to non-sexual activities also. So the presence or absence of hymen does not determine virginity of an individual. The statement 2 is the hymen is torn during the first coitus only. So this is an incorrect statement. Why? Because see, hymen can be torn due to other non-sexual activities also. Okay, so here the statement 1 is correct and statement 2 is incorrect. So the answer will be option 1. The statement 1 is true but statement 2 is false. Moving on to the next question, that is question number 154. The question number 154 is, in both sexes of cockroach, a pair of jointed filamentous structures called as anal cerci. Okay, so this question is about the anal cerci. They are present on which segment of the body of cockroach in both sexes. Okay, so here the answer will be option 4. That is, the anal cerci in both sexes are present in the 10th segment. Okay, moving on to the next question, that is question 155. It is a match the following question again. So here there are different parts of brains given, okay, and here are the different functions of them. So the first is pons. Now if you know that pons, it connects the different regions of the brain, okay, and so A will be with 3. B is hypothalamus. Hypothalamus, the function of hypothalamus is in that there are neurosecretory cells present, okay. C is medulla and the function of medulla is it controls the respiration. So there are important respiratory centers present in the medulla and the gastric secretions. And D is cerebellum. So cerebellum provides an additional space for neurons and its main function is to also regulate the posture and the balance. Okay, so this is the very important. Cerebellum controls the posture and balance of an individual. So here the answer will be option 4. Okay, moving on to the next one, that is question number 156. The question 156 is, which of the following is not a steroid hormone? Okay, so there are 4 hormones given and we have to identify which of them is not steroid in nature. So see, progesterone is a steroid hormone, cortisol is also a steroid hormone, and testosterone is also a steroid hormone. But glucagon, if you notice, it is a peptide hormone. So here the correct answer will be option 2, glucagon. The next is question 157. The question 157 states that which one is the correct product of DNA dependent RNA polymerase to the given template. So see here a template is given. Okay, this template is of DNA and it is asking that which enzyme is acting over here. It is the DNA dependent RNA polymerase. Okay, and where is this enzyme found? DNA dependent RNA polymerase is found in the process of transcription, where we produce RNA from DNA. Okay, so RNA polymerase acts and it is dependent on the DNA template. So here the RNA polymerase will act on the DNA template given over here and it will produce which sequence? So it will produce this sequence. Okay, here the answer will be option 1. Okay, from 5 prime to 3 prime, this sequence will be produced according to this template of DNA. Okay, moving on to the next question, that is question number 158. So here we are given three types of muscles are given as A, B and C. Okay, these are the three types. Okay, this is A, B and C. Identify the correct matching pair along with their location in the human body. Okay, first of all we have to identify which type of muscles are given over here. So see, if you see, the A is a skeletal muscle, right? B, what is the B muscle? See, in the B muscle there are tapering ends. Okay, so this is a smooth muscle, and the C muscle is in that there are branches are seen. Okay, so this is a cardiac muscle. Okay, so after identifying the type of muscle, we have to identify the location. So see, if you see the fourth option, in that skeletal muscle are found in the triceps. Is it correct? Yes, it is correct. Smooth muscles are involuntary in nature and they are found in the stomach. So it is also correct. Cardiac muscles are found in heart. Okay, so this is a pretty obvious statement. So this is also correct. So the correct answer is option 4. The next question is question number 159. So question 159 is, following are the stages of cell division. Okay, so it is a question from cell division and we have to identify the correct sequence of stages from the options given below. Now see what happens during the cell division. So if you know the cell cycle, it goes like this. See, as you can see here, first of all there is G1 phase, then there is, okay, so first there is G1 phase, then there is S phase, then G2 phase. Okay, so G1, S, G2, and so these are a part of, okay, so this is G1, S and G2, and after that there is karyokinesis, and after karyokinesis there is cytokinesis. Okay, so this is cytokinesis. So see, if you see in the given steps, okay, so the first will be the G1 phase or the gap 1 phase. Okay, so this will be the first one. The second will be the S phase or the synthesis phase. Okay, so S phase will be second one, and third will be the G2 phase or the gap 2 phase. The fourth will be karyokinesis, and fifth after the karyokinesis will be cytokinesis. So here the correct option is given by option 2. Okay, so E, C, A, D and B. So the answer will be option 2. The next question is question number 160. It states that which of the following are autoimmune disorders. Okay, now what are autoimmune disorders? When the body produces antibodies against the self cells only. Okay, so body is harming its own cells by producing antibodies against it. So that are the autoimmune disorders. Now the examples of autoimmune disorders among the following options are, what are these? So first is myasthenia gravis. Myasthenia gravis is an autoimmune disorder where the antibodies are produced against the muscle end plate. Okay, so this is an autoimmune disorder. Then B is rheumatoid arthritis. Rheumatoid arthritis is also an autoimmune disorder. Okay, where the antibodies are produced against the synovial fluid. Okay, so it causes inflammation, pain and swelling. Okay, next is gout. So gout is not an autoimmune disorder in that there is excessive deposition of uric acid. Okay, then muscular dystrophy, it is a genetic disorder, it is not an autoimmune disorder. Okay, and E is systemic lupus erythematosus or SLE. So this is an example of autoimmune disorder too. So here the answer will be option 4. A, B and E only are the autoimmune disorders. The next question is question number 161. Okay, This is a match the following question, and in this list there are different enzymes given, and in list 2 there are the bonds given which are broken by these enzymes. Okay, now see, if you see lipase is responsible for breaking the ester bond. Okay, then nuclease, so nuclease acts on nucleic acids, and in between nucleic acids which bond are present? The phosphodiester bonds. So nuclease is responsible for breaking the phosphodiester bond. Then comes protease. Protease, as its name suggests, that protease breaks proteins, and in between proteins there are peptide bonds. So protease is responsible for breaking the peptide bond. So C will break one. Then D is amylase. So amylase breaks glycosidic bond. So here the correct answer will be option 1. Okay. Moving on to the next question, that is question number 162. This is of the flippers of penguins and dolphins. Okay, so this is a direct example of NCRT. Okay, the flippers of penguins and dolphins are example of what? So the flippers of penguins and dolphins are example of convergent evolution. Okay, this is a direct statement from NCRT. Okay, it is an example of convergent evolution. So the answer will be option 1. The next is question number 163. Question number 163 is also a match the following question, and there are different volumes or capacities of the lung given, and we have to identify what sum of volume makes this capacity. Okay, first let us take the expiratory capacity. The expiratory capacity contains what? It contains the tidal volume. So expiratory capacity is TV plus ERV. Okay, tidal volume plus expiratory reserve volume. Okay, so it will be TV plus ERV. So A will go with 2. Then B is the functional residual capacity, and functional residual capacity contains the following. Okay, it contains the expiratory reserve volume and the residual volume, that is ERV plus RV. Then C is the vital capacity, and vital capacity contains expiratory reserve volume, tidal volume, and the inspiratory reserve volume. And D is the inspiratory capacity, and it contains the tidal volume plus inspiratory reserve volume, that will be TV plus IRV. So here the correct answer will be option 3. The next question is question number 164, and it states that which one of the following factors will not affect the Hardy-Weinberg equilibrium? So what is Hardy-Weinberg equilibrium? The Hardy-Weinberg equilibrium states that the allelic frequency will remain constant from generation to generation until the gene pool remains constant. Okay, means the gene pool should remain constant, then the allelic frequency will remain constant. If there are certain factors like gene migration occurs, or gene recombination occurs, or genetic drift occurs, then the Hardy-Weinberg equilibrium will be disturbed. Okay, but see, if constant gene pool is maintained, then it will not affect the Hardy-Weinberg equilibrium. Okay, so the correct answer will be option 2, that is constant gene pool. The next question is question number 165, and given below are some stages of human evolution. Arrange them in a correct sequence. Okay, so we have to identify the correct sequence of human evolution. Now you can go from the most recent one to the past. Okay, we have to identify the correct sequence from past to recent, but if we see the most recent one are what? They are the Homo sapiens. So Homo sapiens will come over here on the last. Okay, next are the Homo neanderthals, or the Neanderthal man, that will come at the third place. Then will come the Homo erectus, that is the erect man which learned to stand erect in the erect posture. And then the most ancient one will be Homo habilis. So here the correct answer will be option 2. The next question is question 166. Which of the following are the stages of pathway for conduction of action potential through the heart? Okay, so it is talking about the conduction bundle, okay, or the neurovascular bundle of the heart. So what will be the pathway of it? Okay, so the first signal is it is generated by the SA node, right? So the first one will be SA node. The second one, after the SA node, it will go into the AV node. Okay, so SA node will be the first one, then AV node will be second one. Then after the AV node, what happens? It will pass to the AV bundle. Okay, so AV bundle will be the third one. After that, it will go to it will move to the bundle branches, okay, the left bundle branch and the right bundle branch, and at last it will go to the Purkinje fibers, okay, which will supply the individual ventricular muscles. So here the answer will be option 3. Next is question number 167. It states that which of the following factors are favorable for formation of oxyhemoglobin in the alveoli. Okay, now see, first of all, it is talking about the alveoli. Okay, in the alveoli, it is talking about what we have to form the oxyhemoglobin. Okay, means the deoxygenated blood is there in the capillaries and the oxygen is present in the alveoli. So we have to make it diffuse to the capillaries. Okay, then only it will form oxyhemoglobin. So for the formation of oxyhemoglobin, what we need to do, we should have high PO2 and lesser H plus concentration. Okay, when there will be lesser H plus concentration, the pH will be higher. Okay, so it will be facilitatory for the formation of oxyhemoglobin. So here the answer will be option 4. Moving on to the next question, that is question number 168. It is a match the following question, and so first is alpha 1 antitrypsin. Okay, so alpha 1 antitrypsin is associated with emphysema. Okay, so A goes with 3. Then second is cry1AB gene. Okay, so cry1AB is associated with corn borer. Okay, so cry1AB goes with corn borer. C is cry1AC, that goes with cotton bollworm. And D is enzyme replacement therapy. So enzyme replacement therapy can be effective in adenosine deaminase deficiency. Okay, so here the answer will be option 1. Moving on to the next question, that is question number 169. The question number 169 is an assertion based question. Okay, assertion reason question, and so the assertion is FSH acts upon the ovarian follicles in the female and in Leydig cells in male. So here the assertion is true. Okay, next is the growing ovarian follicles secrete estrogen in females while the interstitial cells secrete androgens in male human being. Okay, so this is also correct. So here the reason is correctly explaining the assertion. Okay, so here the answer will be option 3. The next question is question number 170. Question 170 is the following diagram showing the restriction site in the E. coli cloning vector PBR322. Okay, so this is a diagram of PBR322 and we have to find out the role of the X gene and the Y gene. Okay, first of all, to find the role of X and Y gene, we need to identify which are the X gene and Y gene. So the X gene, if you know, it is the ORI gene or the origin of replication site. Okay, so X gene is the origin of replication and Y gene is the ROP, that is the replication of plasmid. So here the answer will be option 4, that is the gene X is responsible for controlling the copy number of linked DNA and Y for protein involved in the replication of plasmid. Okay, so the ORI site, okay, the ORI site, that is the origin of replication, controls the copy number of DNA. So if there are many ORI sites, then the copy number of DNA will be high. Okay, the next question is question number 171 and it is a match the following type of question. Okay, so here are different drugs given and here are different properties of the drugs. So we have to identify the correct ones. So first is cocaine. So cocaine, as we know, it is obtained from what? It is obtained from Erythroxylum coca. So here A goes with 3. Next is heroin. Now what is the other name of heroin? Yes, you guessed it correct. It is diacetyl morphine. So and what is diacetyl morphine? It is an opioid. And from what opioids are obtained from? It is obtained from the poppy plant. And the scientific name of poppy plant is Papaver somniferum. So here heroin goes with Papaver somniferum. Okay, B goes with 4. Next is morphine. Morphine is used as an effective sedative during the surgery. So C goes with 1. And D is marijuana, and marijuana belongs to cannabinoids, and cannabinoids is obtained from cannabis sativa. So here the correct answer will be option 2. The next question is question number 172 and it states that consider the following statements and we have to identify which of the following statements is correct. Okay, so the first statement is annelids are true coelomates. So this is a correct statement because a true body cavity or coelom is present in the phylum Annelida. Next is poriferans are pseudocoelomates. So see, this is an incorrect statement. Why? Because poriferans are acoelomates. Okay, they do not have a proper body cavity. Then C statement is Eskelmenthes are acoelomates. So this is also an incorrect statement. Why? Because see, the Eskelmenthes contain pouch-like mesoderm, okay, and that property is of what? It is of pseudocoelomates. So Eskelmenthes belong to pseudocoelomates, and D is Platyhelminthes are pseudocoelomates. This is also an incorrect statement. Why? Because see, Platyhelminthes do not have a body cavity, so they belong to acoelomates. So here the correct answer will be option 4. Okay, that is only the A statement is correct. The next question is question number 173. So this is a statement based question and we have to identify which of them is correct. The first statement is in the nephron, the descending limb of loop of Henle is impermeable to water and permeable to electrolytes. So this statement is incorrect. Why? Because see, in the descending limb of loop of Henle, okay, imagine this is the descending limb of loop of Henle. So in the descending limb of loop of Henle, it is permeable to only water. Okay, it is not permeable to electrolytes. So water moves out. Okay, and the urine is concentrated over here. And the ascending limb of loop of Henle, that is this part, it is permeable to electrolytes and it is less permeable to water. So this statement will be incorrect. Then statement 2 is the proximal convoluted tubule or the PCT. Okay, the PCT is lined by a simple columnar brush border epithelium. Okay, so here the read the tissue properly. Simple columnar brush border epithelium, and it increases the surface area for resorption. So is it correct? No, because see, the proximal convoluted tubule is lined by the simple cuboidal. Okay, it is not lined by simple columnar, it is lined by simple cuboidal brush border epithelium, and on the cuboidal cells there are villi present, that is the brush border, which increases the surface area for reabsorption. So instead of columnar there should be cuboidal. So this statement is also incorrect. So here the answer will be option 4, that is both statement 1 and 2 are false. Moving on to the next question, that is question number 174. It states that, so it is also a match the following question. Okay, so there are different types of joints given and we have to identify the different properties of it. Okay, so the first type of joint are the fibrous joint. Now see, fibrous joints are found between the bones of skull. Okay, so they are found in the skull and they do not allow any type of movement. Okay, so they are the least mobile joints. The fibrous joints are found between the bones of skull and they have to keep very stable. So they allow least type of movement. So A goes with 3. Next are the cartilaginous joints. Now as you know, cartilaginous joints are found between the adjacent vertebrae. So in between the bodies of vertebrae there is the vertebral disc and that is made of cartilage. Okay, and it allows limited movement. So B goes with 1. Then C is the hinge joints. Hinge joints are found in the knee and they help in locomotion. And D is the ball and socket joints. So ball and socket joints are found between the humerus and the pectoral girdle. To be more precise, the head of humerus articulates with the glenoid cavity. Okay, the glenoid cavity of the scapula. Okay, so as you can see, this allows the rotational movement. Okay, so D goes with 2. So here the answer will be option 2. The next question is question number 175. Which of the following is not a natural or traditional contraceptive method? Okay, so we have to identify from the given methods which of them is not a natural method. Now see, what is included under natural methods of contraception? Lactational amenorrhea, coitus interruptus, and periodic abstinence. Okay, these 3 methods are included in the natural contraceptive methods, but vaults are included in the barrier methods. Okay, so they are not a part of natural methods of contraception, they are part of barrier methods. So here the answer will be option 2. Okay, it is vaults are not a traditional methods of contraception. Moving on to the next question, that is question number 176. It is also a match the following question, and Okay, so we have to identify from the animal kingdom. Okay, first is Pleurobrachia. Now, as we know, Pleurobrachia is an example of what? It is an example of phylum Ctenophora. Okay, so A goes with 2. Next is Radula. So see, Radula is a file-like rasping organ, and that file-like rasping organ called Radula is found in the phylum Mollusca. Okay. Next is next is Stomochord. So stomochord is a rudimentary structure, and it is found in the collar region of hemichordates. Okay, so it will be found in the phylum Hemichordata. Next is air bladder. So air bladder is found in the bony fishes or the osteichthyes. And what is the function of air bladder? It helps them provide buoyancy. Okay, so the correct answer here will be option 4. Moving on to the next question, that is question number 177. It is also a match the following question. So first is axoneme. Now, as we know, axoneme is the core of cilia and flagella. Okay, the core of cilia and flagella is also called as axoneme. So A goes with 2. Next is cartwheel pattern. So cartwheel pattern is seen in the centriole. Okay, then C is crista. So if you know, crista are the infoldings of the inner mitochondrial membrane. Okay, so it is found in the mitochondria. And D is satellite. So satellite is related to chromosome. So here the answer will be option 2. The next question is question 178. It states that which of the following statement is incorrect. So among the following statements, we have to identify the incorrect one. The first statement is bioreactors are used to produce small scale bacterial cultures. So this is an incorrect statement. Why? Because see, we use bioreactors to produce large scale bacterial cultures. Okay. So for the production of large scale bacterial cultures, for the industrial production of the hormones, we require bioreactors. So this is the incorrect statement, and the answer to this question will be option 1. Let us read the next statements also. Bioreactors have an agitator system, an oxygen delivery system, and foam control system. This is correct statement. These are the parts of bioreactor. A bioreactor provides optimal growth conditions for achieving desired product. This is also a correct statement. The most commonly used bioreactors are of stirring type. This is a correct statement. Okay, moving on to the next question, that is question 179. It is also a match the following question. So these are the different subphases of the prophase 1. Okay, that is leptotene, zygotene, pachytene, diakinesis, okay, and so on. And we have to identify the characters of it. So as you know that diakinesis is the last stage of prophase 1. Okay, and what happens in diakinesis? There is terminalization of chiasmata. So A goes with 2. Next is pachytene. Okay, pachytene, what happens in pachytene? There is appearance of the recombination nodules. So B goes with 4. Next is zygotene. In zygotene there is the formation of synaptonemal complex. And in leptotene, what happens? There is the chromosome look like thin threads. Okay, so here the answer will be option 1. Moving on to the next question, that is question number 180. Question 180, in that there are different diseases given and the different causative organisms of that disease. Okay, first is common cold. As we know, common cold is caused by rhinoviruses. So A goes with 3. Hemozoin. Now hemozoin is the toxic substance which is released from the RBC when they are ruptured, and when they are infected with the malarial parasite. Okay, and what is the malarial parasite? It is the plasmodium. So B goes with 1. C is the Vidal test. Now Vidal test is the confirmatory test for typhoid. And D is allergy. So dust mites are allergens. So these are the causative factor which cause allergy. Okay, so D goes with 4. So here the answer will be option 1. The next question is question 181. So this is an assertion reason type of question. The assertion is breastfeeding during the initial period of infant growth is recommended by doctors for bringing a healthy baby. So see, this is a correct assertion. Why? Because breastfeeding is very necessary during the initial period of the infant growth. Okay, and why is it necessary? So let us read the reason first. Colostrum contains several antibodies absolutely essential to develop resistance for the newborn baby. So see, the reason is also correct, and it also explains the assertion. Why? Because see, the yellow fluid which is obtained in the initial days of breastfeeding is called as colostrum, and that colostrum is absolutely rich in the antibodies. What type of antibodies? The IgA antibodies, and it provides the resistance to the newborn baby. Okay, so here the assertion is also correct, and the reason is the correct explanation of assertion. Okay, so the answer will be option 3. The next question is question 182. It is also a match the following question. Okay, so there are different types of fishes given, and we have to match them with their common names. First is pterophyllum. Pterophyllum is also called as angelfish. Okay, so pterophyllum is also called as angelfish. Next is mixin. Mixin is also called as hagfish. Okay, mixin or hagfish. Pristis. Pristis is also called as sawfish, and exocetus. Exocetus is also called as flying fish. So here the answer will be option 4. Moving on to the next question, that is question 183. The question 183 is the TI plasmid of Agrobacterium tumefaciens. Okay, TI plasmid of Agrobacterium tumefaciens stands for what? Now see, Agrobacterium tumefaciens, do you remember this? This is the tumor inducing plasmid, okay, which protects the plant from the nematode. So here the answer will be option 1. Okay, next is question number 184. Which of the following is not a component of fallopian tube? Okay, remember to read the word not. So which of this is not the component of fallopian tube? Now if you have seen the fallopian tube, these are its components. Okay, its components include the infundibulum, ampulla, and the isthmus. Okay, so these are the components of fallopian tube. Which of them is not the component of fallopian tube? It is the uterine fundus. The uterine fundus is the part of uterus. Okay, so answer will be option 3. The next question is question number 185. It states that, so it is a match the following question. Okay, we have to match the different diseases with their chromosomes. The first is Down syndrome. Now see, Down syndrome, it is also called as what? It is also called as trisomy 21. So it is associated with the 21st chromosome. So A goes with 3. Next is alpha thalassemia. Alpha thalassemia is associated with 16th chromosome or the chromosome number 16. Beta thalassemia is associated with the chromosome number 11. And Klinefelter syndrome is associated with the X chromosome, where the genomic picture is X, X and Y. Okay, so in Klinefelter syndrome, the genomic picture of the male is XXY. So here the answer will be option 1. The next question is question number 186. Which of the following statements about non-chordates? Okay, the following statements are about non-chordates, and we have to choose the most appropriate answer. So which of them is correct? First is pharynx is perforated by gill slits. This is an incorrect statement. Next is notochord is absent. So see, in non-chordates the notochord is absent, so this is a correct statement. The next is central nervous system is dorsal. So this is an incorrect statement. Heart is dorsal if present. This is a correct statement. And the post-anal tail is absent. This is also a correct statement for non-chordates. So here the answer will be option 1. The next is question number 187. So this is a question from evolution, and we have to match the different era with different animals. Now see, the Mesozoic era. Okay, Mesozoic era was the period of birds and reptiles. Okay, in that period birds and reptiles grew. Next is the Proterozoic era. The Proterozoic era is also characterized by the early life forms. Okay, so in the Proterozoic era there will be the lower invertebrates. In the Cenozoic era, the Cenozoic era is also called as age of mammals. So C goes with 4. And the Paleozoic era goes for fish and amphibia. Okay, so fish and amphibia, or the age of amphibians, is the Paleozoic era. So here the answer will be option 2. Moving on to the next question, that is question number 188. It is a statement based question, and we have to identify which of them is correct. First statement is the cerebral hemispheres are connected by nerve tract known as corpus callosum. So this is a correct statement because See, we have two cerebral hemispheres, and in between them the corpus callosum is present, okay, and it connects the two hemispheres. So this statement is correct. Next is the brainstem consists of medulla oblongata, pons, and cerebellum. So see, cerebrum, okay, sorry. So this is an incorrect statement. Why? Because the brainstem consists of what? The brainstem consists of medulla oblongata, pons, okay. So cerebrum is not present. Cerebrum is a part of forebrain. So here the answer will be option 1, that statement 1 is correct but statement 2 is incorrect. The next question is question number 189. Okay, so we have to identify this. Okay, this is a flow chart given and we have to identify A, B, C and D. So see, due to GnRH, LH and FSH are released. Okay, so A will be FSH. Under the influence of GnRH, the pituitary releases LH and FSH. So A will be FSH. The luteinizing hormone acts on the Leydig cell. And how can we know Leydig? Because see, here it is the formation of spermatids. So it is talking about males. So LH will act on Leydig cell in males and FSH will act on what? The FSH will act on the Sertoli cells, and the factors released by Sertoli cells help in spermiogenesis. So here the answer will be option 3. Next is question 190. It states that, so it is a match the following question. We have to match this the list 1 with list 2. The first is RNA polymerase 3. The RNA polymerase 3 is responsible for what? It is responsible for producing snRNAs and tRNAs. Okay, so A goes with 4. Next is termination of transcription. The termination of transcription is done by what? So it is done by the Rho factor. Then splicing of exons. Okay, splicing of exon, that is snRNPs. Okay, and the Tata box acts as a promoter region. So here the answer will be option 2. Moving on to the next question, that is question 191. It is a match the following question. There are different diseases given over here and we have to identify the characteristic of disease. First is exophthalmic goiter. Okay, so in goiter what happens? So in goiter there is hypersecretion of the thyroid hormone, and what happens due to hypersecretion of thyroid hormone? There is increased heart rate, and also the characteristic feature of this exophthalmic goiter is protrusion of eyeballs, or it is also called as exophthalmos, in that the eyeballs appear to be protruded. So A goes with 3. Next is acromegaly. Acromegaly is seen due to the excessive secretion of the growth hormone from the pituitary. Next is Cushing syndrome. So in Cushing syndrome, what happens is there is excess secretion of cortisol and there is appearance of moon phase and there is hyperglycemia. So C goes with 1. And D is cretinism. So in cretinism there is hyposecretion of the thyroid hormone which leads to stunted growth. Okay, so here the answer will be option 2. The next question is question 192. It is also a match the following question. Unicellular glandular epithelium is found where? Okay, so here the different types of epithelium are given and we have to identify their location. So see, first is unicellular glandular epithelium. So unicellular glandular epithelium is found in the goblet cells of alimentary canal. So as we know that goblet cells are the unicellular cells and they are responsible for the secretion of mucus. So A goes with 3. Next is compound epithelium. Compound epithelium is found on the moist surface of buccal cavity. Next is multicellular glandular epithelium. The multicellular glandular epithelium, an example of that is salivary glands. Next is the endocrine glandular epithelium. The endocrine glandular epithelium or the endocrine gland among these is pancreas. So here the answer will be option 1. Next question is question number 193. There are two statements given and we have to identify which of them is correct. Let us read the first statement. That is, bone marrow is the main lymphoid organ where all the blood cells including the lymphocytes are produced. So see, this is a correct statement. Why? Because in the bone marrow, all the blood cells are produced and the lymphocytes are also produced. The statement 2 is both bone marrow and thymus provide microenvironments for the development and maturation of T lymphocytes. So this is also a correct statement. So here the answer will be option 3, that both statement 1 and 2 are correct. The next question is question 194. It is a match the following type question and it is a question from the topic cockroach. So here we have to identify the organ from these characteristics. Okay, A is the structures used for storing food. So what is used for storing food in a cockroach? So Malpighian tubules. Okay, sorry, crop. Okay, crop. Here the structure used for storing food is crop. So A goes with 4. Next is the ring of 6 to 8 blind tubules found at the junction of foregut and midgut is called what? So it is called as the gastric ceca. Next is ring of 100 to 150 yellow colored thin filaments found at the junction of midgut and hindgut is called what? So it is called as the Malpighian tubules. Next is the structures used for grinding food. The structures used for grinding food is the gizzard. So here the answer will be option 3. Moving on to the next question, that is question 195. Choose the correct statement given below regarding the juxtamedullary nephron. Okay, so the correct statement will be option 1. Why? Because see, in the juxtamedullary nephron, the loop of Henle of the juxtamedullary nephron runs deep into the medulla. Okay, in the cortical nephron, the loop of Henle does not go deep into the medulla, but in the juxtamedullary nephron, the loop of Henle will go deep into the medulla. So here the correct option will be option 1. Okay. The next question is question 196, that is the match the following question about ECG. First is P wave. So what does P wave represent? The P wave represents the depolarization of atria. Next is QRS complex. The QRS complex represents the depolarization of ventricles. Next is the T wave. The T wave represents what? It represents the repolarization of ventricles. And the TP gap. Okay, in what happens during the TP gap? There is the straight line, and in that the heart muscles are electrically silent. Okay, that's why there is no waves, there is no electrical signals. So D will go with 1. So here the answer will be option 4. The next question is question 197, and that is, as per the ABO blood grouping system, the blood group of father is B positive and the mother is A positive and the child is found out to be O positive. Then their respective genotype can be. Now see, here the father's blood group is given as B positive, mother's blood group is given as A positive. So what will be the genotype? And the child is a recessive genotype. Okay, so it is producing O positive, and that can occur when there are both recessive alleles in both the parents. So here the father blood group is B positive, so there will be one dominant, that is IB, and there will be another recessive. Next is A positive of mother, so one dominant, that is IA, and small I, that is recessive. So when they combine, okay, so it will produce one offspring which will have small I, and that will result in the phenotype of O positive. So here the child blood group will be O positive. So therefore the answer will be option 3. Okay. The next question is question number 198. It states that, so there are two statements given over here and we have to identify which of them is correct. Okay. Question number 198, the first statement is, Gauss competitive exclusion principle states that two closely related species competing for different sources cannot exist indefinitely. Okay, so here the statement 1 is false. Next is statement 2. According to the Gauss principles, during competition the inferior will be eliminated. This may be true if the resources are limiting. Okay, so see, why is statement 1 incorrect? Because see, here there are given different resources. If there are different resources available, there will be no competition. So therefore statement 1 is incorrect. And here the statement 2 is correct. So the answer will be option 2. Statement 1 is false, but statement 2 is true. Moving on to the penultimate question, that is question number 199. It states that regarding the catalytic cycle of an enzyme action, we have to select the correct sequential steps. Okay, so we have to identify what sequence of steps takes place during the enzyme action. So here the first step will be the substrate binding to the active site of the enzyme. The substrate will go and bind to the active site of the enzyme. Next step will be substrate enzyme complex formation. Okay, so then there will be the formation of substrate enzyme complex. After that, there will be the chemical bonds of the substrate are broken, and then there will be release of products. After the products are released, the free enzyme will be ready to bind with another substrate. Therefore, the answer will be option 3. Moving on to the last question, that is question number 200. So, it is also a statement based question and we have to identify the correct one. The first one is mitochondria and chloroplast are both double membrane bound organelles. So, is it correct? Yes, this is a correct statement. Both mitochondria and chloroplast contain two membranes. Next is statement 2. The inner membrane of mitochondria is relatively less permeable as compared to the chloroplast. So this is also a correct statement. So here the answer will be option 3. That is, both statement 1 and statement 2 are correct. So here we have discussed all the questions from zoology section of today's paper, that is Neet 2024. If you have any doubts, please feel free to put them in the comment section below. Till then, keep hustling.